The purpose of a film opening is to intrigue the audience by displaying an opening sequence which gives the viewer an indication to what the film is going to be about. This opening sequence must be interesting and must not give the audience all the answers. It will be able to hook people in by showing cliffhangers and involving teasers. This will ensure that the audience continue watching. To find out what happens next, I decided to end my film on a cliffhanger in order to hook the audience in and leave them wanting to watch the rest of the film. The cliffhanger which I ended my film opening on was a close-up of the antagonist's hands burning a photo of her victim's face. As you can see, this ending leaves the audience wanting to know what the antagonist is going to do to the victim. This also allows the viewer to make a connection with the victim, leaving them feeling sympathetic towards her, which then creates more reason for them to continue watching the film because they worry for the victim and want to know if she ends up safe in the end of the film. A film opening should additionally make it clear to the audience what the genre of the film is going to be. My film opening has done this by following several conventions of thriller films. The first convention which my film opening follows is to use low-key lighting. I managed to use low-key lighting during the scenes where the antagonist is exposing photos of her victim. Another scene where low-key lighting is used would be when the victim is walking down the street and the antagonist is following her. Since this was filmed during the evening, natural low-key lighting is present. From these clips you can see that low-key lighting creates a real element of mystery and unknown. The second thriller film convention which my film opening followed would be the use of quick cuts. We included many quick cuts during the scene where the antagonist was plotting something in her hideout. The use of these quick cuts are to build tension and suspense. A film opening of the thriller genre must have tension built successfully. A second element which adds to the tension built throughout the opening is the tense soundtrack. This soundtrack and quick cuts displayed amplify the tension built during our film opening. The final thriller convention which my film opening follows is that my film opening successfully uses various different angles and shot types. For example, over the shoulder shot, long shot, medium shot, high shot, close-ups and extreme close-ups. This makes the film opening more interesting and helps the audience to get a better understanding of the film opening in general. The majority of film openings are around 2 to 3 minutes long, hence the length of mine. This is reinforcing conventions of a real media production. However, my film opening has two challenged forms of a real media production. This was done by creating our own production logo, instead of using one which already existed. We decided to call our production company logo Blackbird Entertainment. A film opening must additionally introduce its main characters. During my film opening, the two main characters are present, meaning my media production is again using forms of real media production. This makes the product more professional as a whole. These main characters are further introduced to the audience through the credits. The main characters are listed in the titles alongside the producer, editor, director, music produced by, written by, and the title. Throughout my film opening, I have challenged some of the traditional stereotypes when it comes to thriller films. A stereotype seen in thriller films is that the protagonist is a brave male and seeks to restore the equilibrium. This is challenged during my film opening due to the fact that my protagonist is a female underdog. It is not obvious that the protagonist in our film opening is the protagonist because she is seen as more of a victim. However, this just adds to the convention of the protagonist being an underdog. We managed to reinforce stereotypes in our film opening as well as challenge them. The stereotype which was reinforced is that the antagonist has a hidden identity. This stereotype is reinforced due to the fact that the audience does not once see the antagonist's face as she is dressed in dark clothing. Her hood being up adds to the idea that she has a hidden identity. The theme of our thriller film opening is to make it as realistic as possible. The worst possible outcome would have been a cheesy film opening because it would have defeated the film opening scariness. The idea being that the audience are able to believe that the plot would happen to them and they might even be able to relate to it at some point in their life. This will be the most frightening element of the film opening if achieved. Believing you could be in that situation someday. Throughout the film opening, the underdog protagonist is in the mercy of the antagonist because she is oblivious to the fact that she is being stalked, this meaning that she is not prepared if attacked, leaving her in a very vulnerable position. Since this is the case, the antagonist is at a great advantage. This is another example of how the film opening has followed thriller conventions. In this case, the convention being the protagonist is in the mercy of the antagonist. I think that my film opening could be improved and made more effective if we included shadows and a montage of shots. This would have helped towards building tension and suspense in the film opening.